Thank you. Now, are you ready for the first question?
Yes.
While pairing for the Kasama program, you may receive multiple complaints on pairings. You may have some issues on reveal night itself or even the week before and experience complaints about pairings being biased and unfair. As the social activities share, it is also easy to forget that other people outside of your friends are involved in the program. How would you respond to issues and structure the system to minimize bias and ensure that all participants feel the process is equitable, intentional, and respectful?
Thank you so much for your question. Let me make sure I have everything covered. Okay. Firstly, as this position is responsible for a major aspect of the club, that being the Kasama pairing program, I'm well aware that it's a lot of responsibility, and although I do promise to try my best and work as hard as I can, I know that not everyone will always be satisfied with my decisions, and that is why I have the committee. I'm aware that not many people know about the committee, and it's supposed to stay that way, but I think in selecting those people for next year, I want to cast a really wide net and be able to pull from corners of all over Samahan, not just people that I think I'm friends with or that I think I would work well with. Personally, again, as I mentioned in my speech, I've been on almost every auxiliary, and I'm a member of 3 separate FAMs. I've made a lot of connections throughout the club, and I think that would be a really good skill to have as social. I think by having all of those connections, I'm able to kind of have like eyes and ears everywhere, and I would be able to physically see where those interactions happen and where they take place. And so putting that, like with that in mind, and selecting my committee with that again in mind, I would be able to make pairings that would not be seen as biased, hopefully. But again, I can't control how other people view my decisions, and I want to make sure that everyone in the Kasama program is aware that being picked up is not the make or break for Samahan. Some people may not be picked up, even though like everyone deserves to. But not being picked up and not connecting with your Goyate is not the end of everything. You always have a second chance. Personally, I know people who were picked up in fall, people who were picked up in spring, or people who have never technically been picked up, but they've been pseudo. I want people to know that they can always come back to the space and still find those connections with or without this Kasama program. But you know, hopefully with that program in mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you ready for the next question?
Yes.
The Kasama program sees a large volume of applicants each semester. In recent semesters, the number of awning applicants outweigh the Kuyades. As a result, not every awning that applies will be paired with a Kuyade. How will you make an active effort to promote inclusivity following the events of Reveal Night to acknowledge those that did not get picked up, while still celebrating those that did have a successful pickup?
Thank you for your question. You know, as I said, being picked up does not determine your space within Samahan. It plays a large role in it, but you are not forced to oblige by that. I think personally, I would love to hold a bit more of the pre-reveal socials in order to really hype up and like boost our engagement for our members, and that would in turn hopefully bring a lot more of the upperclassmen to those events and get us a lot more of the kuyates or mentors to come in and increase the likelihood of more pairings being made. Yeah, I would also like to, like with that in mind, I would hope that that kind of mitigates the kind of not clickiness, but this commitment to staying within your fam or within your line. It's really good to have those connections, but I think with everyone feeling more included, those who didn't get picked up would still feel welcome in this space and would still have people that they are close to and that they would like spend their time with. Yeah, and I think that would be how I like address those who don't get picked up, but how I celebrate those getting picked up also would be to host a post-reveal social to help again mitigate that kind of awkwardness that may come with a random pairing or with just between the audience within a line, so that everyone can like get to know each other better and have a space where they can all break down walls and again, interact with everyone to like see where they fit in. Thank you.
Are you ready for your final question? The Kasama program is the biggest event that the Social Activities Chair hosts every semester. With such big responsibility, you must know your big why in order to facilitate an authentic mentorship program. What inspires you to take on the Kasama program? How do you plan on relating not only to your personal whys into your program, but also the Katapunan clause into the program? How will your Kasama program be different from the rest?
Thank you so much for your question. Sorry, let me write this down real quick. Thank you so much for your question. My personal big why, as I mentioned in my speech, is the fact that this space really welcomed me, and it was within the first GBM. The Kasama testimonial video really like made it click in my mind how easy it was to be within this space and how much those connections would be able to mean. How much those connections mean to everyone, how much they could mean to me, and as social chair, I want to be able to make those mean the exact same for you all. I don't have the best family situation. I don't really have a family situation at all, if I'm being honest. But here at San Diego, I managed to find people that I'd be honored to call my family, that offered me that same love and support that I wasn't offered growing up. And I want this to stay a space that does that for people, and where people can not just be, oh, I'm a part of a club, but I'm a part of a community. And I think that's really important. I think with the Katipunan clause in mind, one of its main focuses is advocating and educating advocating for Filipinos and Filipino Americans, and educating its members, bringing us closer together and having us mobilize. I think the easiest way to help lead with that in mind as social is to really collaborate with the e-board. The social's biggest strength is its ability to bring in numbers and bring awareness to a lot of situations, and I think there are many positions that I would love to do that with. I think while obviously the future director of funding would be like the person I work with the most, I would love to work with positions such as community, to help organize charity or volunteer work programs or events, to give back to the larger community within San Diego. I'd love to work with the SACD liaison, as they're the person who like is connected to the clubs on campus and would help us make a bigger name for ourselves here and establish those connections, but also the vice chair external, so that we can help integrate ourselves further with those outside clubs and outside organizations. Yeah, and then there's many more. Obviously, I think ABLE is a really strong like program here and a really strong auxiliary, and I think working closely with the political to remind everyone why we're here and what the point of this org is would really like strengthen how much we can give back.